Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. Here, our mission is simple, to help you improve your English in a fun and effective way. Whether you're just starting out or already on your journey, we're here to make learning smoother, more engaging, and accessible to everyone. Today, we're diving into an exciting format learning English by listening to the news. This is a fantastic way to improve your listening skills, expand your vocabulary, and stay updated on what's happening in the world all at the same time. Don't worry if you don't catch every single word at first, that's completely normal. The key is consistency and exposure. In each episode, we'll break down a news story into clear, simple sentences, making it easy for learners of all levels to follow along. Plus, we'll explain important words and phrases to help you understand and use them in your own conversations. So get comfortable, stay curious, and let's start improving your English one news story at a time. Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes like this. Let's do this together. David Lynch, the renowned director and co-creator of the series Twin Peaks, has passed away at the age of 78. His family shared the news with deep sorrow through a Facebook post where they paid an emotional tribute. In their message, they recalled one of David's memorable quotes, "Keep your eye on the donut, not on the hole." Although the cause of death was not disclosed, the director had revealed last year that he was battling emphysema. Known for films like Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive, Lynch was celebrated for his unique storytelling style and visionary creativity. Steven Spielberg, who cast Lynch in the film The Fabelmans in 2022, described him as a truly singular visionary. With a career spanning nearly 50 years, Lynch captivated, intrigued, and moved audiences by creating imaginative worlds that defied convention. His artistic influence was immense, blending commercial cinema with true artistry. Fans and colleagues deeply mourned the loss of a director who brought magical, original, and thought-provoking cinematic experiences, leaving behind a legacy that will continue to inspire future generations. Now, let's talk a little about one of David's works, Dune from 1984. In 1984. Filmmaker David Lynch brought to the screen a bold and complex adaptation of Dune, the epic science fiction novel written by Frank Herbert in 1965. The film, although it did not achieve the expected success at the box office upon its release, has over the years become a cult classic and a milestone in the science fiction genre, influencing generations of filmmakers and viewers. At a time when science fiction was mainly focused on technology and alien invasions, Dune stood out for its philosophical depth, complex political and social themes, and unique aesthetics, characteristics that eventually established it as a classic. The film is set in the distant future, in an interplanetary empire where politics, religion, and ecology are deeply intertwined. The plot follows the young Paul Atreides, played by Kyle MacLachlan, who is the heir to House Atreides, one of the noble families that govern the planet Arrakis, also known as Dune. Arrakis is the only planet where the most precious substance in the universe is found, melang, a rare spice that is vital for space travel, longevity, and psychic abilities. Therefore, control of Arrakis and its spice is central to the power struggle between noble houses and other political groups, such as the Harkonnens, House Atreides' historical enemies. David Lynch did not limit himself to a conventional adaptation of Frank Herbert's literary work. He brought his own artistic and interpretive vision to the screen, which, while respecting the depth of the original novel, also incorporated elements of his surrealist aesthetic, characteristic of his works like Eraserhead and Blue Velvet. The use of imagery and symbolic motifs, such as Paul's visions, the relationship between characters, and the vast desert of Arrakis, emphasizes the connection between individuals and the environment surrounding them, something highly relevant in times of environmental and ecological change. In the film, the struggle for power is drawn in a complex, multifaceted manner, showing how the noble houses try to manipulate the resources of Arrakis and how the different groups seek to control the spice. Lynch's work also explores the themes of destiny and free will, with Paul being portrayed as someone with extraordinary abilities, including visions of the future and a special connection with the native people of Arrakis, the Fremen. Throughout the film, Paul grapples with the weight of his destiny, something that seems inevitable yet he also seeks to understand and shape it according to his own will. This dilemma between destiny and choice is central to the narrative, giving the film a philosophical dimension that sets it apart from other science fiction stories. Another significant theme in Lynch's film is the critique of the corruption of power and the exploitation of natural resources. Arrakis, as a metaphor for the real world, symbolizes the valuable natural resources that, when controlled by a small elite, cause immense inequality and suffering for the people who live in the harshest conditions. The Fremen, who inhabit the desert of Arrakis, have a symbiotic relationship with the planet, being both victims of exploitation and, ultimately, those who will have the chance to change the course of history. Lynch's work also carries a strong religious and mystical dimension, especially through the character of Jessica, played by Francesca Annis, Paul's mother, who is part of a religious sisterhood called the Bene Gesserit. This sisterhood's goal is to create the Kwisatz Haderach, a being with powerful psychic abilities who can manipulate the future. Lynch's handling of religion, blending it with science and politics, creates a fertile ground for questioning the use of faith and spirituality as tools of power and control. Aesthetically, the film is striking. It does not follow the typical science fiction patterns of the time, such as bright, metallic futuristic technology, but instead adopts a darker, almost medieval approach with costumes and sets evoking a sense of antiquity and a dystopian decaying future. The landscapes of Arrakis, with its vast and hospitable desert, reinforce the feeling of isolation and the struggle for survival in a hostile environment. Although Lynch's Dune received mixed reviews at the time of its release, it has been reassessed over the years and has become a cult film. Many of its aesthetic and narrative choices are now recognized as innovative and bold for the time, and the film's influence can be seen in many science fiction works that followed. The central message that Lynch sought to convey with Dune can be understood as a warning about the dangers of religious fanaticism, the corruption of power, and the unchecked exploitation of natural resources. At the same time, the film reminds us that, despite adversity and the weight of our destiny, we still have the ability to choose and shape the future. With the recent remake of Dune by Denis Villeneuve, which offered a more faithful adaptation of the original material, Lynch's work has once again been discussed and analyzed from a new perspective. While the remake has been well received by critics and audiences, Lynch's version remains a unique and valuable piece of cinema history, offering a fascinating and highly personal interpretation of the Dune universe. Thanks for joining me today. Let's quickly review what we learned from the news. Some of the most common and useful words we came across were family, movies, director, and simple yet powerful words you can use in everyday conversations. On the other hand, we also encountered some more challenging vocabulary like emphysema, visionary, and mystified. These words are great for expanding your knowledge and sounding more advanced when speaking or writing in English. I hope this lesson helped you improve your listening and gave you a better understanding of English vocabulary and context. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support means so much and helps us continue creating content for learners like you. And as always, keep learning, keep listening, and keep growing in English. See you in the next episode.